In the ruthless world of boxing, every punch thrown is a statement of pride, and every taunt carries a price. Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican prodigy who turned his name into legend, learned early that respect in the ring isn't given, it's taken. For years, cocky challengers thought they could rattle him with words, only to discover that mocking the king of modern boxing is a fast track to humiliation. His fists have written history, one knockout at a time, silencing doubters and sending trash talkers into oblivion. After his lone defeat to Floyd Mayweather in 2013, Canelo stood at a crossroads. Many fighters would have let that loss define them, but not him. Instead, he forged that pain into precision, his discipline becoming sharper, his rage colder. In 2015, James Mandingo Warrior Kirkland became one of the first to feel the fury of this new version of Canelo. Kirkland, with a violent past and a record of crushing opponents, came into the fight spewing bravado, promising destruction. But when the bell rang, it was Alvarez who hunted him down like a predator stalking wounded prey. Every uppercut and right hand landed with the precision of a master sculptor, chiseling his masterpiece in motion. Then came the moment that froze the crowd. Canelo's thunderous right hand shattered Kirkland's senses and sent him collapsing to the canvas, unconscious before he even hit the ground. The referee didn't bother counting. Canelo stood tall, calm, and unshaken. That knockout wasn't just victory, it was vengeance, pure and poetic. But Alvarez's rise wasn't always about glory under bright lights. Back in 2009, he faced Leonardo Tyner, a street-hardened fighter with a dangerous reputation. Tyner taunted the young Mexican mercilessly, calling him weak, green, and untested. On fight night, Tyner tried to back up his words with wild aggression, hammering Canelo with heavy shots and dirty tactics. But beneath that fiery red hair was ice. With every hit absorbed, Alvarez calculated his counterattack, and when the time came, he unleashed it with the force of bottled fury. The crowd erupted as Canelo punished Tyner with clinical precision, proving that age means nothing when your soul burns for greatness. By the end, Tyner was beaten into silence, a lesson carved into his bruises: never mistake youth for weakness. Then came 2021, a year that defined Canelo's supremacy. His target was Billy Joe Saunders, the undefeated British technician who promised to embarrass him. Saunders mocked him in press conferences, called him overrated, and even made fun of his hair color. It was arrogance at its finest. When they met in the ring, Canelo's calm eyes hid a storm waiting to break. Saunders danced, jabbed, taunted, but every mistake, every smirk was cataloged in the Mexican's mind. Then, in the 8th round, Alvarez found his opening. A vicious uppercut shattered Saunders' orbital bone, and the man who once bragged couldn't even stand up straight. The fight was over. The same fans who cheered Saunders' antics now stood in silence, witnessing another name added to Canelo's list of broken egos. But Canelo's hunger didn't stop there. In 2019, he dared to move up in weight to challenge Sergei "Crusher" Kovalev, the Russian powerhouse feared across the division. Analysts called it madness. Kovalev was taller, stronger, with a longer reach. Many predicted Alvarez wouldn't last 6 rounds, but they underestimated the mind behind the gloves. Canelo weathered Kovalev's early assault, absorbing jabs and body shots, studying every movement. Then, in the 11th round, when the Russian relaxed for just a moment, Alvarez exploded with a right hand so brutal it looked like something out of a movie. Kovalev collapsed instantly. The crowd gasped. Canelo had just become the light heavyweight champion of the world. Size no longer mattered, only skill, timing, and heart. And in those, Canelo had no equal. Years earlier, in 2013, Austin Trout made the same mistake others did. He underestimated him. Undefeated and confident, Trout vowed to outbox Canelo to make him look amateur. He never saw the storm coming. From the opening bell, Alvarez stalked him with methodical aggression, cutting off angles, punishing him to the body, and exploding with devastating hooks. Each round was another step toward Trout's unraveling. Then came the signature punch. A clean right hand that sent Trout staggering across the ring, eyes blank. By the time the final bell rang, the judges had no doubts. Canelo had exposed yet another loudmouth as nothing but smoke and mirrors. In 2019, Daniel Jacobs stepped into the ring with his own words of war. He promised to hurt Canelo, to humiliate him, to prove that he was the real king of the middleweights. But on fight night, the bravado evaporated quickly. Canelo moved with surgical precision, weaving through Jacobs' punches and answering each one with lightning-fast counters. Every exchange tilted further in the Mexican's favor. By the later rounds, Jacobs looked lost, his confidence shattered as Canelo controlled the pace, rhythm, and distance like a grandmaster playing chess in a storm. When the decision was announced, it was unanimous. Canelo had conquered again, leaving no room for doubt. Through each of these battles, one thing became clear. Canelo Alvarez doesn't fight for fame. He fights for respect. Every opponent who tried to clown him, to belittle him, walked away humbled or didn't walk away at all. His fists speak louder than any insult, and his discipline has turned him into a living embodiment of Mexican pride. His journey from a teenage prodigy to the undisputed champion of multiple weight divisions isn't just about power. It's about legacy. It's about the fighter who refuses to be broken, no matter how big the challenge, no matter how loud the enemy. Canelo's story is one written in sweat, blood, and the silence that follows when a taunter hits the mat. Each victory is a message to every future contender who dares to mock the king. In this game, arrogance is suicide. Saul Canelo Alvarez doesn't need to shout to prove who he is. His punches do all the talking, and they speak fluently in dominance. If you followed Canelo's rise and witnessed these iconic moments, what do you think defines his greatness most? His discipline, his power, or his ability to humble his opponents so completely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that capture the raw drama, emotion, and glory of the fight game.